Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you from my log barn. And today we're going to talk about Ebola. We're going to talk about the threat and what you need to do about it. We just had a big outbreak of Ebola occurring in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But it's just started in a city of Goma in the Congo, which happens to be a city of 2 million people. And the cases there are just starting. There's only been 3 cases so far, but in a city of 2 million people, it can spread fast. The thing about Ebola is that it can take up to 3 weeks before you even recognize the symptoms. And apparently, one of these cases was a daughter that got it from a dad. The other case was not related, so they're coming in from different sources. This outbreak originated just 220 miles from Goma, and it's already taken 1,800 lives in this outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now, that said, this is the second worst outbreak of Ebola. Ebola is a hemorrhagic fever which causes bleeding from the eyes, the nose, the ears, internal organs. It's really nasty. And half the people that get it die. It has a 50% kill rate. It is not, it's awful. It's an awful disease. Fortunately, it does not spread that easily. You've got to have contact with fluids, bodily fluids. That don't mean that somebody couldn't wipe their nose and put their hands on something and you go by and grab or touch that surface, you might get it. And it just so happens that medical professionals are getting scared of this because when they follow all the correct protocols, they're still getting it. They get this disease. So this outbreak's 1,800. The worst outbreak was 2013 to 2016. It occurred in the nations of Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia in Africa, down on the west coast that time, and it took about 11,000 people. Greg, why worry? You're talking 11,000 people, you're talking Africa, you're talking, now just 1,800 people in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Give me a break. Well, listen, the Democratic Republic of the Congo city of Goma has 2 million people and an international airport. So there is a lot of potential for this disease to spread. There's potential for it to incubate in a city that size and incubate on a large scale and spread with access to the international airport. Like I said, it takes to 3 weeks from the time you contract the disease to start showing symptoms. Now, we've already let a couple of groups of people from the Congo come across our southern border, and one was sent, I think, to Houston and one to Maine. And they're probably okay. Chances are they're fine, but did they get screened? Are we going to start screening people? When are we going to do this? You're talking a major threat in the United States. Even though I said it spreads by direct contact with body fluids, once you get incubating a disease like that in a city of a couple million people, it can mutate. If it comes here, it can mutate. There is a variant of the Ebola virus called Ebola restin, or restin virus. Look it up on Wikipedia. Restin virus. In 1989, they discovered this virus in clam-eating monkeys that got out of the crab-eating monkeys that they got out of the Philippines. And this virus spread from one group to another through the air shaft, the ventilation shafts, in a research facility in Reston, Virginia. That's back in the time when I was going to Reston doing the space station work on the Space Station Freedom for the Level 2 program. Yeah, I was up there in that area when all that was going on. Fortunately, that's the simian virus, simian variant. But how we got Ebola to start with, how it starts, it jumps from other species to us. That's how it got started. And so who's to say that this virus couldn't make just a small mutation? It'd be all that would be required for it to go airborne. It's already happened with the restin virus. We don't know if it would or would not, but there's always the potential. An airborne version of Ebola would be catastrophic in any country. In the United States, it could spread like wildfire. I mean, today's population, we're kind of like a big petri dish, because we have a huge population and we're all interconnected in vast manners and ways. So that is things to think about. In fact, this is so bad that the nation of Rwanda on Thursday closed its border to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or I should just say Congo for short. For a while, it went to Zaire. Some of you guys may remember that, but it's gone back to the Congo, or the Democratic Republic of the Congo. All that said, Rwanda has closed its borders, and they are taking it seriously. Although it's just 3 cases in Goma, but Goma is a potential hotbed. Things could go bad real fast. So we got to keep our heads on a swivel, and you got to know what you need to do. So first and foremost, I want to say to keep updates to many topics that you need to keep an eye on like this, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and bang the update notification bell, because I offer videos on how to thrive, survive, and stay out of the hive. And the key thing is, I bring up topics from time to time about things to look out for. I also talk about how you can survive. I talk about how to grow your own food, indoors, outdoors. I've got the aquaponics greenhouse, more on that in the future, more garden topics in the future. I've done topics on microgreens, how to grow indoors. I've done topics on how to eat from the forest, how that you can get your food from these trees. So there's many topics that and many videos and subjects that I'm intending to cover. It's just a challenge for me of time to do it, because I have a full-time job, and I have a worm farm, and I have a market garden, and I did mention that aquaponics greenhouse. All these things take time. So I'm an extremely super busy guy. Greg, why don't you put your camera on a tripod? It's one of the most common comments I get. I got probably dozens and dozens of hours of video with my camera on a tripod. It may never see this channel because I don't have time to edit it. Because when I have to put it on a tripod and do these things, it requires a lot more editing. I do edit some of those videos and post them on here, but some of the construction and greenhouse and things like that, some of that will come up, some may not. But all that said, what can you do? How do you survive? You should check out my page at Supply for prepping supplies, because you might need to be in isolation. You might want to leave a city if it's and bug out. If you're in a city and Ebola is striking, you don't want to be anywhere around there. My page of Supply is a good place. If you want to grow your own seeds, check out True Leaf Market below. You can grow seeds indoors. That can help you in isolation also, and also help you in times of bad climate. And then I mentioned I'm expecting food prices to rise, so that's another good reason to go now to my page of Supply. And of course, I always advocate growing your own food, and I do sell worms, so you can make your own compost and fertilizer from your kitchen waste, no less, and yard waste, and scrap paper. And airplanes are flying over. They don't help much in the topic, but so spreading things. Now, what else can you do? Here's the key things. The biggest thing you can do is keep your immune system healthy. Half the people that get Ebola, 50% die from it, and they die a very tragic, hard, sad death, bleeding out of every orifice. You don't want that. Keep your immune system as strong as you can. Get healthy. Eat wise. Eat healthy food. Eat garden food. Don't eat that store-bought junk. That's why you should grow your own. You need to take vitamin C as much as you can, and good organic vitamin C if you can get it. Take vitamin D3. Now, vitamin D and D3, you can get a lot of it from the sun. It's summertime right now. The thing to know about that is if you get too much of it, it could cause calcium to sludge in your blood vessels, and one way to combat that, the best way to combat that, the way to combat that, is vitamin K. And vitamin K is found naturally in green leafy vegetables. So you can always look up what is strongest in the content of vitamin K. But vitamin D is something that's very powerful against fighting disease. Vitamin C is powerful against fighting disease. It's also believed by some to fight cancer. I said believed by some. Now, anything I tell you today, I'll give you the disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional. Check with your doctor to find out what you need to do and what you need to best, how do you best handle this. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just telling you things that are smart, like keeping your immune system up. There are things that are antiviral that may help you. The Ebola virus is a virus. Therefore, antibiotics will not help against Ebola virus. There may be secondary infections that could help against, but they will not fight Ebola. Now, there are antiviral solutions and things that may or may not work against Ebola. Shikimic acid, I'll do a video pretty soon on how to make the essentially Tamiflu from what's growing here in the forest with the sweet gum trees. You can also do garlic might help, but mainly what will help you is oil of oregano. Oil of oregano is a strong antiviral and antibacterial. Also a good antiviral might be, and I'm not advising this, but a lot of people do colloidal silver. There's a lot of risk. You need to really research that, and I wouldn't take it unless I really thought I probably had Ebola or something really bad. But that's just my take on it. I have friends that have taken it and done okay with it, and I know somebody she's a silver blue lady, but she said it saved her life, so, and she's happy. Now, you know, you have to make your own choices, and again, I'm not advising anything about what to do or not to do with regards to taking colloidal silver, but it is an antiviral and antibacterial, and a lot of people swear by it. However, I'm just pointing these things out because when times get rough, you may not be able to get to your doctors. The medical profession will fall apart because the doctors will not want to work. Medical people will not want to work if a disease like this breaks out in the United States and goes rampant. You may be on your own. So you better figure out how to take care of yourself and take care of your family. I'm just telling you this to give you a heads up so that you can prepare for yourself. Do your own research. Don't take my word on anything for this. Do your own research. Should it happen and come here to the United States, you need to prepare. And prepare as best as you can. Again, I got links below. Click them, please. Support the channel. Click the update notification. Of course, after you've subscribed. Many more videos to come, many related subjects. So, thank you for watching.